Have an interesting discussion today, something that's been rattling around in my head for a bit, so might as well go ahead and jump right in. So welcome to another episode of the Under the Sun podcast, where we talk about everything fitness, nutrition, motivation, and life strategies for living a better, happier, healthier life. So today what I want to talk about is the gym industry. The gym industry has been growing year over year. It's a massive industry, as a matter of fact, and I'm looking at some statistics here. So if you go online, you can find all kinds of different stats. I happen to be looking at one right here. It's a website called Noob Gains, Learn to Build Muscle. They did an infographic here on 2019 gym statistics. And so it's pulling from some of this, and I think there's some interesting talking points here. The first one, we talk about the gym industry growing, or the fitness industry growing. So they quote it at about $33 billion a year in the US, which I did some math here that verifies that. So let's talk about this for a second. Let's just talk about what the gym industry looks like. So they say that approximately 14% of the US population has a gym membership. Now, we've got 329 million people in the US right now. They also state that the average gym membership is $58 a month. So that's factoring the low side. So you've got some of these corporate gyms are offering, $20, $25 a month memberships, but then you've got memberships that go all the way up to $150, $200, $300. So the average is $58 a month. Now here's what's really interesting. So let's do the math real quick. So if you've got 329 million people in the US, and if 14% have gym memberships, that is 46 million gym memberships a year. 46 million. Now, if we were to take that other statistic of $58 a month as an average gym membership price, and we were to multiply that 46 million memberships times $58 a month, that is $2.7 billion a month. Not a year, a month. Now, if we multiply that by the 12 months, that brings us to approximately $32 billion. Which verifies this number that they have of $33 billion. So we've got $32 billion a year in gym memberships. Now here's where it's messed up. Statistically, according to what I'm looking here and several other sites that say something similar, approximately 80% of the gym memberships go unused. I know that's probably not a shocker to you. So 80%. So if we were to take 80% of our $32 billion a year that they're collecting from us and the ACH payment that we pay every single month over and over and over. So if only 20% of the people are going, that means that $25.6 billion a year is wasted on unused gym memberships. $25.6 billion wasted. That's a shame. That's a real shame. And here's what's upsetting to me about it. Is your corporate gym environment, not only do they not care, they're banking on that. There's another statistic in here, and let me pull this up, and I think this is going to be an eye-opener for you. So, let's see, here it is, right here. Quote unquote, commercial gyms need about 10 times the members their facilities can actually handle to be profitable. So that's from the Men's Journal magazine. So 10 times the members that their facility can handle, that's what they need to bring in gym memberships just to be profitable. So what that says to you is they're banking on the fact that only 1 in 10 people are actually going to show up. Because if everybody that showed up to the gym that had a gym membership, they'd be completely overrun. Matter of fact, there's another statistic here. I won't name the gym, but this is a popular, let's call it a budget-priced national chain. They're quoting here that per gym, there's about 6,500 members per gym or per location, but they can only accommodate 300 people at a time. So they've got 6,500 members that belong to that particular gym, but they can only handle 300 people at a time. Now, of course, you can break that up throughout the day and say, all right, well, there's a morning crowd, and there's an afternoon crowd, and there's an evening crowd. Those are your three main times. Yes, people trickle in the middle of the day, but if you've ever been to a gym at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's not exactly packed. Same thing at 11 o'clock. Super busy in the morning. There are people there in the middle of the day at lunch, and then the evenings, of course, are slammed. So let's just take your three prime time slots. 300 people in the afternoon. This is max, by the way, max capacity. This isn't an average. They're saying can only handle 300 people, which I don't know if I've ever been to a gym that had 300 people in it at one time, but that is insane. That's packed. You're not getting a piece of equipment. You're not getting a bench. You're not getting a dumbbell. You're going to be sitting around picking your nose waiting for someone to finish. But anyway, if you were to take those three prime times, that's 900 people probably a day out of the 6,500. So what I'm saying is that the gym business is designed to take your money, to get that ACH payment every single month, but they're banking on the fact that you're not going to show up. And that's what I think sucks, because it's not about results. It's not about making sure that people reach their fitness goals. This comes across as, we hope that you pay the money. We hope you set a New Year's resolution for yourself because you do it every single year. We hope you sign up. We're going to incentivize you to sign up for as long as we can, do a 12-month membership, because we know that you're never going to show up and we're just going to collect your money. So that is the basis of what I want to talk about today, because for me, my primary goal is to see people succeed. So what does it take to eliminate all the excuses, all the reasons, which by the way, there is no such thing as excuses, only reasons, but eliminate all those reasons why you can't work out consistently. A lot of it, of course, is time. We've all got a lot of different things that we're juggling. Doesn't matter how old you are or what your life looks like. Guaranteed, you're probably packing your day with all kinds of stuff. You know, if you're a parent, of course, you're dealing with kids. If you're a career person, you're dealing with that. If you're a student, you're juggling maybe going to school and homework and a part-time job and whatever else you have going on, social life. So time is always going to be an issue for all of us. So that's one thing. Money is going to be another thing. And we just pointed out how much money is being wasted right now. So that's been my whole goal, is to try to make fitness more accessible, eliminate some of those reasons or excuses so that people can achieve their fitness goals. It's not just about money. And that's what I don't like about corporate gyms, is it's all about money. Now, I'm not pointing the finger at all gyms. So there's a lot of small boutique gyms they're owned by individuals or by a small group, and they really do care about their members and they want to see everybody succeed. So I'm not going after the entire gym industry here saying that the gym industry sucks. Not at all. I'm just saying that statistically here, there's a lot of money being wasted because they bank on the fact that we all want to get in shape. Even people who say they don't want to be healthier or and somehow be in better shape, whether that means losing a few pounds or feeling better or having more energy, whatever their definition of being in shape is, everybody wants to feel a little bit healthier, look better. So they're banking on the fact that we all want that. They're banking on the fact that New Year's resolution, that's one of the first things everyone does. They go out, they go get all the gear, right? It's like, go get tennis shoes, go get some new AirPods, get some new workout pants, go get a gym membership, and I'm all dialed in, I'm super committed. All these things hopefully are gonna make me even more committed because I just spent my hard-earned money on it. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do it. And then like 3 weeks in, dwindles away. Matter of fact, there's some statistics on here about when people fall off. All right, here we go. Gym statistics on members who join, and then in parentheses, and those who quit. 8% of men in the U.S. quit going within a year. 14% of women quit going within a year. That's not bad. That's in a year's period of time. But 50% of all new gym members quit going within 6 months. So half the people within 6 months are gone, dropped out. Now, again, I'm not saying that these statistics are perfect. Depends on the source that you pull. You're going to see probably fluctuations in the numbers. For reasons, going back to the reasons why, not excuses, reasons why people quit, 46% of people say that it's because of the cost. Well, especially if you're not using it, then it's really expensive. That's like leasing a car, going and leasing a super high-end car, leasing a Mercedes, and then never driving it, having to just sit in your driveway. Let's see. All right. How often members actually go to the gym? According to the attendance rate of, this is an old stat, but 50% of them visit the gym at least 100 times over the entire year. It's not terrible, but that's still more than a third of the year, or less than a third of the year that they're going. So you're wasting 2/3 of the year there. And I always talk about results coming from consistency. They don't come from a magic plan. It's not from your workout plan. It's not from your nutrition plan. Yes, those things matter, but what matters the most is the consistency that you put into it and the intensity that you put into it. Going to the gym less than 30% of the year is not going to get you the results you're looking for. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. It's always something that rattles around in my mind, especially when people say, oh, pair of bands and a workout program, that's expensive. It's over $100. But I look at it and I say, well, according to average gym membership of $58 a month, 2 months you paid for it completely and you can use it anywhere you want, anytime you want. It's yours. You don't have to go anywhere to use it. Time's not an issue. So it's actually a major cost savings, especially considering how much money is wasted here in the US. Here's another thing that I think is pretty interesting is that in the fitness industry, more than twice the amount of money is spent on clothing and accessories as there is on personal trainers. Now, matter of fact, if you were to look at, so this statistic is talking about millennials spend close to $112,000 on fitness purchases over their entire lifetime, which equates to monthly costs of $33 a month. So they're breaking it down that $56 on health supplements, $35 on clothing accessories, $17 on meal plans, and $14 on trainers. So the funny thing is if you take the meal plans and trainers and add it up, it's still less than clothing. Everyone's out there going and buying clothing, spending more on that than they are on meal plans and actually trainers or training programs, which I think is kind of funny, but I actually see it. Go into a gym, it looks like a fashion show now. Fitness has become just as much fashion. It's a fashion statement, right? It's a lifestyle. I go to the gym and I wear the outfit. Can't you tell that I go to the gym? I got the gym workout clothes and the gym shoes on. I live the gym life. It's easier to wear it than it is to live it. And so I think that's one of the reasons why the apparel industry has grown so much. It's just trendy. So anyway, pretty short podcast here today. I just wanted to kind of plant that seed with you that if you're going to spend the money on a gym membership, then by God, at least go use it. That's all I have to say. If Americans are going to waste almost $26 billion a year, that's the wasted. I mean, if we're going to spend $32 billion in total, go to the gym and at least use it. But if you're not going to use it and you want to get in shape, then maybe it's time to start analyzing why you're not going. I did a program once, it was actually for bodybuilding.com, it was called Rewired. And the focus of the program wasn't about the actual training program or the nutrition program. I really didn't care as much about that. What I was more interested in is the psychological aspect of goal setting and also figuring out what some of your pitfalls are. Because we all have pitfalls, and if you can recognize what those are and recognize some of our own patterns, then you can catch yourself as you're starting to trip. You can say, oh, I'm doing it again. But you have to be aware of it. So this whole program was based on that. And, one of the things that I think is really important is that self-awareness and saying, okay, why am I doing this? What's my reason for wanting to get in shape, and really digging into it. We talked about that in the past when it comes to goal setting. But, figure out what it's going to take for you to be really committed. And looking at what some of your pitfalls are. So if you're going every year in January and you're doing the same thing over and over, like how many times have you set a New Year's resolution in December or January to get in the best shape of your life, but it doesn't work? Like we're there with bodybuilding.com, the reason I did that program the way I did is they told me that statistically, a lot of these people were getting 2 or 3 weeks into their programs and they would quit, or they would program hop. They would say, oh, I'm not getting results fast enough, and so they would move to the next program, and to the next program, thinking that there's some sort of magical program out there that is this shortcut to success, this magic, life hack for getting in shape easier without putting in the time and the intensity and that consistency. And there is no shortcut around that. So it's trying to help people really dig in and figure out how I can help them stay committed for the long haul. But one of the most important things is figuring out or recognizing your patterns. If you do that same thing over and over, it's like that saying, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, except you're expecting a different result. So if every year you're setting a New Year's resolution for yourself, but come March or April, you're not going to the gym anymore, and you do this year after year, clearly there's a pattern here. So what's it going to take for you to break that pattern? How can you make your fitness more convenient or more accessible, or eliminate your excuses? So I'm not saying that the way that I train is, the only way to do it. For me, it has been a way to be able to juggle all the things that I've got going on in life, because the truth is, as much as I'm into fitness and as much of a priority as it is to me, I mean, let's face it, it's been my career, my entire adult life. It gets to a certain point where I only have so much time between all the other priorities that I have. And so this enables me to be able to squeeze it all in and create more time for myself, because there is only so much time in a day. You can only get up so early and stay up so late, but you can create time by creating efficiency. In other words, stop wasting so much time. So I'm not super sympathetic when people say, oh, I don't have time, because I feel like I'm about as busy as one can be. I kind of sound like a busy bee. I feel like a busy bee. I just know that if you really want it, you can do it, and you can figure out a way to do it. So if you're doing something, like I said, and you're falling into the same pattern, stop for a minute. So as we get close to the end of the year and you start thinking about your New Year's resolutions again, ask yourself, am I going to do the exact same thing that I did last year? Am I going to set a goal for myself, this lofty goal that I'm not going to reach, that I'm going to get frustrated and I'm going to quit? Or is it time to reevaluate and say, maybe there's a better approach here? Maybe one, I'm going to set smaller goals for myself and break those down into smaller goals that are achievable, so I can keep myself motivated, keep myself psyched up and energetic to go ahead and continue moving forward, versus setting big lofty goals where you're always going to fall short and therefore demotivate yourself. So obviously, this all ties into, what I'm kind of all about these days, which is having the freedom to be able to train outside the gym. Again, it doesn't mean I'm anti-gym, because I'm not. I just know that I can reach my fitness goals without having to go to the gym, and it gives me a lot more flexibility. But anyway, just wanted to share some of those statistics with you. I thought they were eye-openers, the biggest one being money. None of us like wasting money, but the reality is, statistically, most of us in the US are wasting money on gym memberships. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you guys are doing awesome, and I will see you on the next podcast.